On the morning of the last day of Brian's life, he went about his business as normal. He made a conscious decision to treat the day like any other and move through his morning checklist with the usual lack of urgency. As a child, he was asked to write an essay entitled "One Day to Live." He imagined himself taking a trip deep into outer space, possibly the moon. It would be there that he would take his last few breaths as he soaked in the majesty of our infinite cosmos. Although the much younger version of Brian had greatly overestimated man's future in space, the older version had altogether stopped believing in the possibility that anything worthwhile might ever happen. He didn't even take the scenic route to work. He went about his job as if it were any other day. He thought about all the times he had pictured quitting in a dramatic fashion. All the yelling and screaming wasn't really him, and even though he knew it wasn't real, for a brief moment, Brian felt alive. He decided to quit in a more discreet manner. Brian had no plan, really, other than to get very drunk, take too many pills, and go to sleep. He sat there drinking his whiskey and taking pills, one by one, in a methodical fashion as he made his way through the bottle. Things became dark, faster than he would have thought, but Brian didn't fight it. He relaxed and went to sleep for what he hoped would be the last time.
Is this going to be enough?
How should I know? I've never done this before.
Well, it was your brilliant idea. I'm just wondering how it's going to work.
It's going to work fine.
You're an ass.
There you go again with the names.
Oh, poor baby. Are you going to be okay?
Just shut up for a minute and let me finish. Hey, buddy.
What the hell? Who are you guys?
Calm down, Brian. We're here to help you.
Am I dead? Is this heaven?
No, dear. This isn't heaven. I believe it's Van Nuys.
Even an atheist with a cursory knowledge of the Bible knows you don't wake up in heaven duct taped to a couch.
That seemed rude. Brian, we're here to keep you out of heaven. I mean, to keep you alive. This is an intervention.
To keep him out of heaven?
Stop it, Doug.
It just doesn't seem very sympathetic.
Let's just get through this, please.
Hey.
Fine, let's just send this poor bastard to hell then.
That's not what I meant, and you know that.
Just think before you speak. That's all I'm asking.
Shut up and tell me who you are.
Let me explain. I'm Doug Hayes, and this is Stephanie Shaw, or Steph, as we like to call her.
And what does that have to do with me?
You really don't know who we are?
Yeah, you're Doug Hayes, and people call her Steph.
And that means nothing to you? I'm Doug Hayes, struggling author and full-time employee of Burke Industries. My life up to this point has been filled with nothing but disappointment. I'm your freaking protagonist.
As he tried to make sense of the situation, whether he was alive or dead, dreaming or something else, one thing became clear. He was staring eye to eye with his own creations.
Hey, who the hell was that?
Don't say anything. Just think. Anytime now.
Brian didn't know what to think. Nothing about this situation seemed...
Ha! I knew it! He just had to come along, didn't he? Everywhere I go, he just follows me around, blathering on and on about everything I'm thinking and feeling, telling anyone that would listen. And now he's here hiding under that damn couch.
No, I'm not.
Come on, show yourself.
Actually, I'm good. I'm really quite comfortable down here.
Yeah, well, we're all uncomfortable out here. Just get out here and let's get this show on the road.
This is highly unorthodox. I'm not very comfortable with people seeing what I look like.
Yeah, well, nobody asked you to come in the first place.
I have just as much writing on this as you do.
You're the voice?
How kind.
This is the best you could come up with?
Brian felt the attacks on the narrator were unwarranted and should no longer continue.
Did you just think that?
Well, if you're going to be a part of this, then please sit down and shut up. Brian, we're all here because we care about you and your work. We don't want to see things end like this.
We've been with you since the beginning, and we just want to see you make it through to the end.
The end of what?
Our story. We spent the last 6 months going through the same day over and over. What are you doing?
Leaving.
Now? What about breakfast? Wait, please stop. Look, I'm sorry. Just come up back up and let's talk about it.
There's nothing left to talk about. I'm not going to let you drag me down anymore.
I'm not trying to drag you anywhere. I'm in love with you.
Really? Then let me read it. You say you love me, but you can't even show me what you're writing? Either you don't love me, or I've spent the last 3 years with a writer who doesn't write.
He just sat there staring at the door. It couldn't have been for more than a minute, but it felt like days.
And then I just spend the rest of the day alone in that stupid apartment. Fall asleep and wake up the next morning and do it all over again.
I just walk over to the bus stop and cry.
That's why I'm supposed to feel bad. That's my life. I know how it happened. I wrote it down that way.
And then you just stopped?
6 months of self-loathing didn't exactly make for a great third act.
Well, here's just something off the top of my head, but maybe you should have opened the damn door.
What's the point? It's over.
But you can't do this to us. We deserve some sort of closure.
No matter how much shit you put me through, I never once complained. I could have been a jewel thief or an astronaut instead of some writer from the valley. But I believed in the story. I thought it was going somewhere.
There's nowhere left for it to go. I'm sorry, but the story ended when she left.
Then find her. Tell her you love her.
Life doesn't work that way.
But how do you know if you don't try?
Because I've spent my whole life trying. And I don't have shit to show for it. Why do you think you still work at Burke Industries instead of writing novels? And why do you think your relationship failed in the end? I'm sick of it all. When I stopped writing, the world kept on going. The same will be true when I stop living.
You're just taking the easy way out. It's a lot harder to work at some dumb job or keep a relationship afloat or finish a damn novel.
You think it's so easy? Huh? You've only had a taste of what I've experienced my whole life. I've worked that shitty job for 13 years. I've had 2 novels rejected. And she's not the first woman to walk out on me. You spend more than a couple of days in my shoes, and then you tell me you want to keep on walking.
But what about the good times? What about when it was just the 2 of you? Isn't that something worth holding on to?
You act like I can just go tell her to love me, and she'll say, okay. That's how restraining orders are created. I'm trying to salvage the small amount of dignity I still have. Like, get this tape off me and leave me the hell alone.
I'm begging you. I just want to wake up tomorrow and do something. Maybe things are over with her, but there's still time. I can change. We can change.
It slowly became clear to everyone involved that Brian was unwilling to cooperate.
What are you doing?
You heard the voice. It's over. He doesn't want to hear any of this.
You just listen to me, and everything will be fine. I'm gonna walk out that door, and this is all gonna be over.
You're making a mistake. She still loves you, I know it!
Get off me, damn it!
Do something!
I'm not supposed to get involved like this.
Help us!
I can't do that. I'm supposed to be a third-party omniscient.
I'm hit.
How exhilarating.
Are you alright?
I think it's a superficial wound.
I was talking to him.
Would you people please just leave me alone? God, I can't even kill myself without everything spiraling into a disaster.
Well, it was a good story while it lasted.
Listen, I appreciate what you're doing, but it's over. I've made up my mind.
Page 126. What about page 126? He looked at her and felt a sudden, overwhelming sense of the entire future of their lives together.
It was the same feeling people who have near-death experiences report. A fast glimpse of your entire life, except into the future instead of the past. And as he looked on, she smiled. It was warm and welcoming, as if she sensed his vision and felt like he finally got it. Seems like that might be something worth sticking around for.
Any story has a few good pages.
But the good pages are what people remember. I'm sure that's what she remembers.
You don't know that.
Neither do you. You never even tried to find out. All those years and she never read a thing. How can you expect her to stay if you never really let her in?
What if she's moved on?
Then at least you'll know. I mean, after all of this, don't you want to find out what happens?
But how do I get out of this?
Just find yourself some red slippers, tap your heels together.
Just walk us out. Before you know it, things will be back to normal. She's always going to love you. Just let her.
We all just want to see how the story ends.
Just messing around. Seriously, though, I'm sorry about that. To the disenfranchised members of the human race, fear not, for you are not alone. In fact, your numbers are large and growing every day. I ask you, please keep going, keep breathing, keep living. Because today isn't the first day of the rest of your life. It's Wednesday. But sometimes Wednesday will surprise you with love, or a good meal, or a favorite song, or someone taking your hand in theirs. And even if it ends up being just like every other ordinary Wednesday, remember, it's almost Friday. Life is mostly hard, except for when it's easy. So pick your head up, or keep it down if you like. But please remember, there's someone out there who, for reasons that you might not understand, would be happy just to see you.